So this video will be going over the reward distributor contract. And the purpose of this contract is to grant ETH rewards and token rewards in the future to specified operators and their configured recipients that are configured within the contract. So kind of how the overview of why we're distributing these rewards is these operators will have their validator keys registered with us. And when one of their keys is their validators is chosen as the proposer for a block, we will accrue them a stipend, and we're going to tally those stipends over the course of a week or so, and then kind of pass them all in this distribution list. But instead of rewards just going to the operator, we allow them to configure recipients within the contract. And so yeah, let's start going over it. Passing this distribution, just for context, you can infer it from the function, but it's just going to be an operator, recipient, and amount. So we're passing in that, and then we have this reward data mapping, and it's going to be triple nested mapping. It's not as complicated as it seems. It just ends up resolving to a reward data struct, which is just used to track a user's rewards for a certain token. So their pending rewards will just be their accrued minus their claimed. So this is like the identifier of the rewards, the operator recipient combo, and then this is the token ID, and then we're incrementing their accrued amount. So like this mapping will resolve to a reward data struct. Yeah, this is for ETH. As you can see, ETH is tokenized Z0, and granting token rewards specify a different token ID. These are gated only in our reward manager. And the reason we have it operator recipient instead of just operator recipient is because we want these operators to be able to set who they want these stipends to be or rewards to be granted to. And we can't just do recipient because multiple operators could share a certain recipient, as seen in this example diagram. Operator A and operator B could have their recipient address both set to recipient 1. We only want to let operator A claim the ETH that they earn for that recipient instead of being able to claim all of the rewards earned by like operator A and operator B. So in this case, they'd only be able to claim 1 ETH to recipient 1. So this kind of shows why we have this separated into operator recipient combos. Yeah, so for overriding, the most common way to override will be doing this set operator global override function. It's also the most gas efficient. It just, anytime we look you up and you just have this set, it'll tally the stipend rewards to, or any type of rewards to this contract. And your recipient overrides apply to both ERC20 tokens and ETH. So the recipients must be able to handle both. And that's kind of at the risk of the owner. But we have some, safeguards in case you mess it up before you claim. Yeah, it's like a migration function. And then otherwise, if you want to get more specific with it, this would be much more rare, since operators should just be having the same recipient for all of their keys, if they're set up correctly. But they can also, for niche scenarios, they can override the recipient by pub key. So, when a certain pub key gets chosen, or a certain validator gets chosen as a proposer, it has a pub key, and we'll resolve that pub key to an operator, like I said before, and then check in this contract the operator and pub key recipient. That's going to be down here, get key recipient. So we pass in the operator and the pub key, and then it'll return the recipient. So this individual key override, this lets you set that recipient by individual key, and this global override just for all your keys by default. So yeah, a lot more gas intensive to set by key, but ideally they shouldn't be doing that if they're set up normally. And this getter is just going to be used by our off-chain service. Is not used within the contract, but it's just used for data purposes. But it does show kind of the intended precedence of recipient resolution. So first is the by key override. They have one. If not, we use their global override. And then if they haven't set that, it's just their operator. And then, maybe this helps explain this distribution a little more, looking back at it. Yeah. So moving on, there's also claim delegates. So you can also set a claim delegate. So this is allows you, as an operator, to allow another address to claim on their behalf to their recipients. So when you set a claim delegate, you're not granting that other address permission to take the funds. It just lets them execute the claims to your specified recipients. And so yeah, you can claim. An operator can always just claim on them for themselves, their own recipients. This is just going to be like claim rewards takes an operator, or their recipients, and then the token. So zero for ETH, and then we'll have most likely just going to have one token, but it doesn't really. May as well add support for other tokens just by having this token ID mapping. We can update it later. We can always update the logic to, change a little bit if we want. But in the current state, we can't have multiple tokens. And then, so yeah, there's claim rewards if you're the operator, and then claim on behalf of operator. So if you've been granted that claim delegate power for that operator, and like it's for a specific recipient, it's by recipient. So the operator can grant delegation to claim just to a certain, like a single one of their recipients that they want to. And so yeah, if you have delegation, you can claim for that operator, specified operator. And then going down to claim rewards, we get their pending rewards for each recipient. And that's just accrued minus claimed again. And then transfer the funds. It's token ID 0, which means ETH. We just transfer them the ETH. And then if it's a different token, we give them the tokens. There's a token ID check here. Some setters, the contract's pausable as well, upgradable. Here's the authorized upgrade override. And yeah, that's it. Again, definitely check out the README. Goes a little more in depth, probably a little more organized. And then this document as well.